The Full Circle with DC.
And a very, 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 very good day, everybody. My name is DC. I am the host of The Full Circle, which is now back as a podcast if you haven't heard already. This is show number 3. Wow. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that has commented, messaged, just said all these nice things about The Full Circle coming back, and I'm so happy by the positive feedback this show has received. Thank you so much to everyone that has listened. Please, 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 if you have any advice, any info that you think, oh, actually, maybe you should think about this or that, I would definitely really appreciate it. I've already had someone say to me that I need to do the cat food challenge. I have done food challenges before on the live shows, and it's something which definitely could be brought back. There's no doubt about that whatsoever, but I don't know. And to that person, I won't name them just yet in case they don't want to do it, but to that person that suggested it, if you want to do it, if you want to do that cat food challenge with me, then maybe we can get you on the show and maybe we can do it together. But thank you so much for the feedback, and thank you so much to everyone that's listened, that's commented, that's messaged. You guys are absolutely incredible. And please, if you do want a shout out, if you do want my patented boom, 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 not actually patented, I must add, because otherwise I might get in trouble. If you do want that non-patented boom, boom, boom shout out, please message, and hopefully you will get that in due course. And I just want to say thank you so much to my partner Abby for doing such a great job on The Full Circle last week. She was so good. Thank you so much. Would love to have you on again. And I'm not just saying that because you're my partner. I'm saying that because you were just fantastic. Thank you so much. And this week is a solo show, so you've only got my dulcet tones. And I hope that whether it's just me or whether I've got other people, the show's just as good quality as it is per the previous show or per the next show. There's going to be times where maybe the quality fluctuates, but at the end of the day, I just hope it's at a quality that is listenable and somewhat enjoyable. And thank you so much to everyone that's listening, whether you're on your way to work, going for a little stroll, going for a run, just sitting on your sofa, getting ready for bed, in the bathroom. So thank you so much to everyone that listens to this, and thank you so much to everyone that is keen and willing to guest host with me. Thank you so much. So on this week's show, we're going to talk a bit about mine and Abby's trip to America. We went to the States recently over the Easter holiday, and I'm also going to play a classic Would You Rather, so some Would You Rather questions, and also a feature is coming back called the Buzzfeed Quiz of the Week. I'm not sure if it's a quiz per se, it's more like choose your snacks or desserts and they're going to guess my birth month. So I'm curious to know if it can really do that. I'm really curious to know that. So I really hope you enjoy this week's show, and of course, the patented, non-patented, can't keep saying patented, but the non-patented Full Circle links are also in between all the segments as well. So what's the first song of the Full Circle? Now, of course, as you guys know, it's a podcast. We can no longer play music on the podcast. So on the description of each episode, there is a link. It's a Spotify link at the moment. I don't have Apple Music Premium. I don't have Amazon Music. I don't have any other streaming service. If anyone does and wants to make a playlist of the songs and send them over to me, I'll be in your debt. I'll give you a penny. That might do it, 1p. What can 1p get you these days? I don't even know if can you even get 1 penny sweets anymore? I'm not even sure you can. Anyway, what's the first song? What's the first song going to be? So, the first song is by Lady Gaga with her hit single, Abracadabra. So check that song out on the playlist. So honestly, my honest opinion of Lady Gaga is that I'm not really her biggest fan. That's the honest truth. I mean, look, I know back in the day she had all those hits, Poker Face, Bad Romance, Alejandro, Star is Born. Is that her? All really, really, I can understand why it was really, really enjoyed by others. I don't know if it was my thing. Obviously, nostalgia plays a part as well, so I don't mind it as much as maybe I did when I was younger. But this song, Abracadabra, is a really, really catchy, housey song. I really, really like it, and I would definitely recommend you checking that song out if you haven't listened to it before yourselves. And the other thing to just note, it's only happened on the day that I've actually recorded this, is that apparently she did Coachella, not Coachella, sorry. She did do Coachella, but she also did a free gig at Brazil, and she was on the beaches there, 2 million people, and they managed to foil a bomb attack. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable that they were able to foil that. And oh my goodness, that would have been an absolute disaster if that happened. My goodness, terrible. I mean, those sorts of things shouldn't be happening anywhere, and it's just appalling that it's happening, and it was even like planned and all these sorts of things. It was just it's just so sad. But I'm so glad that it was foiled. I'm so glad that they were caught, and they're gonna be spending a lot of time in prison. I think I can say that and not, jeopardize the courts or anything. Imagine if so and so was spared jail because the host of the Full Circle said that they should be in jail. My goodness, that certainly shouldn't be happening and won't be happening. So yeah, thankfully they were caught, and thankfully that foiled any incident that happened there. So wowzers indeed. So Lady Gaga, Abracadabra, check that song out. Not a bad song at all. Not a bad song at all. Right, it is time. It is time for the classic. It's been happening every week so far. We've got to bring it 3 for 3. Would you rather? Right, Would You Rather? It is a game where you have two choices. Doesn't have to be a good choice and a bad choice. It can be two. It could be a better choice and a good choice, and it could be two really bad choices. But essentially, you've got to choose between these two. Would you rather do this or do that? So, would you rather wake up early in the morning or go to bed late at night? That's probably a classic one. I would rather go to bed. What was it? Would you rather go to bed early in the morning or go to sleep late at night? I would rather go to bed early at the morning, because the early bird catches the worm, as they say, and the early DC catches... I was going to say something that rhymed, I just couldn't do it. You can see that this isn't scripted, and that is something that's really important. I do think a lot of podcasts are probably scripted. This podcast should be scripted and isn't. I like to just play it by the cuff, which is why there's a lot of clicking the stop button and then deleting things and then pressing the record button. But hey, I'm not supposed to share that. So I've taken some of these Would You Rathers from lots of different websites, and I tried to choose interesting ones. I tried to choose ones which are family friendly and ones which interest me per se. I see the questions, I put them on, and then I forget about them. So then I think about it now in real time. So the first Would You Rather. Would you rather have a magic fan that can teleport you anywhere you want and time travel anywhere you want, or a magic ring that when it touches a book, you absorb all the knowledge inside? Oh, that is tough, isn't it? That is really, really tough. So essentially, can you go anywhere you want and time travel anywhere you want, or can you get all the knowledge that you want? That is a really difficult one, because knowledge is power. There is no denying that. But time travel, now is that time travel into the future? Because that is a lot of knowledge. That is a lot of power. So you're getting a different sort of power there. Oh, that is a really difficult one. I think on balance, I'm curious. And that's tricky, because curiosity works for both. Knowledge, curious, and time travel, curious as well. I think if you can time travel in the future and you can teleport anywhere you want, I think I would go for that. I mean, the risk of that is you could go somewhere and, especially if you go in the future and human existence is gone and you're there, people might be like, whoa, or not people, but if there's other things, other species that are living during that time which aren't humans, then you're going to be like, ooh, They might be like that, and you might be like, oh, because you might be in trouble. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this might make me change my mind. No, I'm gonna stick with teleport anywhere I want and try time travel anywhere I want. I think that's what I'd rather. Knowledge is power, but I also think traveling in time, I think, is just cool, and I think it's just something that is so unusual, and I would and just so unique, and would love to do. Number 2, would you rather be able to eat anything you want and have it perfect nutrition, or have to only sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested? So basically, you can eat anything you want. So, I've got a sweet tooth, there's no denying it. I could eat anything sweet, and that is definitely my kryptonite when it comes to food. As soon as I've had one sweet, that is it. I cannot stop, and it's just so annoying. I wish I was that person that could have like one little chocolate. Yeah, an example would be those Lindt bars. Those Lindt circles, which they are just so delicious. Do you know what? Just thinking about it right now, I wish I didn't talk about this, because thinking about it right now just makes me want one. They are so delicious, so rich. The issue is I could have 10 of those, and I think 10 of those is basically 1,000 calories. So that is just, oh my goodness. But only 1 hour a day and be fully rested means you get a 23-hour day. So you have a lot of time. You have a lot of time on your hands there. And it doesn't really matter then about your nutrition, because you probably will have perfect nutrition anyway. You'll probably be exercising more. You'll probably be more creative. So I think I would rather have 23 hours in a day. Now, the only thing I would say is and I'm not trying to say that that employers are bad, negative people that just want to make people work as much as they can. But obviously, if they know that everyone only needs to have an hour sleep a day, would your work hours be longer? Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing that worries me a little bit when it comes to that. So I don't know. It's a tough one. Now that I've thought of it like that, I'm gonna still go for only sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested, because I'd like to think that workers wouldn't do that, but then why wouldn't they? No, let's go for only sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested. It's a positive show. I keep saying too many negative things now. It's a positive show. Okay, number 3. Would you rather live in the South Pole or live in space? I assume they mean you can survive in both. So I assume they mean, you live in space and you can survive there as if you're surviving now. And obviously same in the South Pole. I think for the novelty, you'd have to go for space, right? I think, of course, we know about that flight. The flight, which at the end of the day, like it definitely caused a reaction. There's no doubt whatsoever. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to go to space and live somewhere different and live somewhere that isn't Earth. And there's no denying that. I think it's always cool to do things that you can't do, but you see on TV or you see in films, and you see celebrities do it and then do it for like a couple of minutes and then come back and kiss the floor as if they'd been in space for years. But it is what it is. But essentially, I think I would go for, I'd rather live in space. Now, someone did comment, which did make me laugh. Someone did comment space because they said they can see penguins in a zoo. Is that the only reason why you go to the South Pole? Fair. Okay, number 4. Would you rather know how the world began or how it will end? Oh, that is difficult. I guess there's already a lot of theories about how it began. Big Bang Theory, obviously. Religious theory. Anyway. Theories about how it began. I guess we're never going to really know how it ends, do we? I mean, we know that. I think people have said that we're about halfway through. Is that right? About halfway? Is that what people have estimated? But these are all estimates. We don't really know. I mean, the only thing about knowing how it'll end is what if it ends next week and you know that, and then you have to tell everyone. Oh, it's a bit grim, innit? I hope. I mean, I just want to say that I've not been told how the universe ends, how the world ends, and I've certainly not been told it ends next week. So I don't want people to I can already see the headlines in the paper. Podcast host says the world will end next week. I think I'd rather know how it ends. I think that is probably the way I think that is probably what I'd want to know. I mean, it's always the unknown that people don't like, isn't it? It's that unknown. And I think I would rather know how it ended. And yeah, I guess, does that mean you know when it ends? So I think I would like to know how it ends. It'd be a bit sad. Obviously, it'd be really sad to learn about it and know it. But I think that's probably what I'd want to do. Okay, the last would you rather. Would you rather have unlimited strength or unlimited speed? Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? So unlimited strength, so basically, you can lift anything, you can do anything. The issue with that is, what if you just sit on the chair and then you break it? Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing I would say. I don't really want to do that. So that's the issue with unlimited strength, is that you might not know your own strength, if that makes sense. Unlimited speed, you should be able to control that, right? And you can just go wherever you want. You'd be the Flash, right? That's the character that has basically unlimited speed, right? Am I making that up? I think so. So yes, you'd be basically the Flash. I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it? To just go from one place to another. You can go around the world like in a second. That'd be cool. I mean, you might get a bit queasy after doing that, but at the end of the day, it's probably worth it to go all around the world. I think I'd rather have unlimited speed. I mean, I'd smash races, I'd smash competitions. Yeah, unlimited speed. That's my final answer. So yeah, tell me what you guys think for any of those would you rathers. Anything you agree? Anything you disagree? Anything you so disagree with me that you need to comment it? Please do, or text it or message it anywhere. Please do. Right, it is time now for to find out about the second song. So the first song was Lady Gaga, Abracadabra. The second song is, how do I link Lady Gaga to the second song before I say the second song? So, as I alluded to earlier, this is the only song I like of Lady Gaga's. Another artist whom I only like one song of is Sabrina Carpenter. Yeah, look, I get it. I know a lot of people really like her music. I know she's absolutely smashing the charts. Look, fair play. People like it. I've heard her songs. I'm not her biggest fan, but there was one song I heard which sounded really, really good, and that song is Taste. So you've probably heard it, let's be honest, you've probably heard the song, but it's on the playlist. You can listen to it again if you want, or for those that haven't heard it, for those that are not have not listened to her because of XYZ or whatever. So some people, look, I'm not, at the end of the day, people can choose who they want to listen to and who they don't want to listen to. Now, there are some people that choose not to listen to particular types of music because it is classed as popular music. Each their own. I think that's a bit silly. I think it's always worth listening to any type of music, whatever the genre is. Because you never know, you might find a gem and you might like it. And Taste by Sabrina Carpenter is one of those songs that I do quite like. So I would definitely, check it out. But if you've heard the song before and you like the song, then definitely check it out. And if you're a bit unsure, just check it out and see what you think. And tell me if you do like that song or not. And if you do, great. And you've found another song you like. And if you don't, even better. I'm not sure it's even better, but just as great. It doesn't matter. You've heard a new song, you gave it a go, and you're like, nah, not really my thing. I think she's performing at BST this year, isn't she? She's in BST Hyde Park. So I think she was meant to be doing one day, and then I think it was Hugh Jackman that was supposed to be doing another day, and then he pulled out, and essentially she ended up getting a second show. So she's been given two shows, and at this, also performing at BST, there's a few names there, but another name performing there is Stevie Wonder. And that very much links to the third song, because I could have also said there's one song of Sabrina Carpenter's that I like. There's only one song of Stevie Wonder's that I like, but I thought that was too repetitive, especially when you'd done it just as link previous. Sabrina Carpenter is performing at BST Hyde Park this year, and that links perfectly to the third song, as Stevie Wonder also performing at BST this year. And the song I've chosen is the only song I like of his, and it's probably his most well-known song. Correct me if I'm wrong though, for those that are Stevie Wonder fans. Superstition, absolute tune. So check that song out after you've checked out Sabrina Carpenter's. So there you go. So I've already done songs 2 and 3 at the same time. Excellent stuff. Right, it is time for me to talk about our trip. So I thought, one of the things about the Full Circle before that I never used to do is I never really spoke about me. I never really spoke about things I did, my interests or stuff I got up to. And I thought this time on the Full Circle that had to change. As a podcast, there was less audience participation because it's not live. So I got less live text then and live messages. Obviously I don't, because I record these shows and don't tell anyone. Obviously, when I've got guests, a bit different participation then, so we'll have a conversation. But I think it's really important to talk about things that I do and I like, and I hope you enjoy hearing about these things as well. And recently, we went on a holiday to Vegas and also around the national parks nearby. An absolutely incredible holiday. We were there for 2 weeks, just before the Easter weekend. So we arrived the weekend before Easter, flew into Vegas, and then got our car, which took a bit of time to get. It was a massive queue, over an hour. And then they didn't even have the car that we ordered. And then they said for an extra $10 a day, we can upgrade our car. And you're just like, what? Like, but you haven't got the car that we paid for. And you're now asking us to pay an extra $10 a day for an upgrade, quote unquote. And we were a bit like, no, like that just doesn't sit well with us. And then eventually someone came and said, no, you don't have to charge them. No, they can just have that. And then he just said to us, I'm so sorry. The previous supervisor said we had to charge $10. And you're just like, just so infuriating how literally everything now they just try to get you. They just try to get just as much money as they can now, just based on anything, which wasn't even our fault at all. It's not our fault that they didn't have the car that we bought, that we paid for, the rental car that we paid for. I don't understand why we then have to pay money for an upgrade. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, that was my second time driving on the other side, because in America, as you probably know, you drive on the right-hand side of the road, whereas in the UK, you drive on the left-hand side of the road. So, the second time I did it, it took a little bit of getting used to. It's the hardest bit really is because you're sitting on the left-hand side now, because it's just to do with the orientation, isn't it? It's just to do with where you're sitting. So you're used to, being closer to the right-hand side. So because of that, you're probably going to get your car closer to the right-hand side than you should. So there'll be some times where you'll probably be over the right-hand side line and things like that. But overall, the drive was fine and over the couple of weeks, and there wasn't really many issues about that. So we made it to Vegas, to our hotel, and then we started our journey. Over the 2 weeks, we ended up being in 3 different states: Nevada, which is where Las Vegas is, Utah, and Arizona. And the other weird thing is, even though I think there was a 5-hour, I think the furthest place we drove was 5 hours away, in Utah, the clocks are an hour ahead. So you had to bear that in mind as well. Luckily, it wasn't an issue for many things. It was just having to bear that in mind when we drove back to the airport in Vegas. Luckily, it was only, it didn't make much difference. It was an hour behind. We were going backwards an hour, so it's fine. We visited Hoover Dam. Damn, that was good. And that was rubbish. And then we went to the Grand Canyon, which was incredible. I mean, one of the natural wonders of the world. Absolutely stunning. Strongly recommend you go in there. It was so good. So good. Did a couple of hikes there, and then we saw the Mexican Hat, because that's the name of the area, and it has a rock formation that looks like a Mexican hat. That's what it's called. We also saw Forrest Gump Point. I've got a confession, I've not seen the film. It was actually on TV the other day, but I haven't watched it in full. I don't know, is that sacrilegious to say? I don't know. We visited some historic towns. We went to Flagstaff. We went to Red Rock Canyon, which was really fun. We went to Antelope Canyon, which was really fun. We actually booked with a company called Antelope Slot Canyon Tours, and we stayed in a hotel, which was right near what we thought was a tour site. And then we got there and they said, nope, you've come to Antelope Canyon Tours. Just missed that little slot out. And we were like, oh no. And Abby, because you're not allowed to actually bring non-clear bags, Abby then had to go back and drop her bag off. While I was like, Abby, you've gone to the wrong one. We've gone to the wrong one. We've got to go to the other one. Luckily, the slot tour was just a 15-minute walk and it was fine. And there were incredible views of the Antelope slot. Really, really stunning. And the guide actually took photos on our phone to sort of make the rock formations look cool. Absolutely incredible. But something I do want to say is Abby, fair play. So I agree. Abby said to pack t-shirt and shorts, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. We're in the desert. Nevada's in a desert, Vegas in a desert, all around deserts. And the average high of April is around 27 degrees, can get high of 36 degrees. But there was one day that it dropped in the minus and there was actually snow. Luckily, we did pack some trousers and we did have a jumper and coat each just in case. I didn't have a coat, actually. Abby bought a coat. And I was just like laughing at why'd you bring a coat? And she said, this is why I brought a coat. And I was like, why'd you say t-shirt and shorts? No, all good though. All good. So then we made it back to Vegas. And the reason why we actually went to America to begin with, it was my suggestion to Abby, and it was to go for the wrestling, WWE. Now, I know some of you listening to this probably aren't WWE fans, and I'm not going to talk about it in great detail, but I think it's important to talk about it because of the context and just because of the reason why we were there. And it was for WrestleMania. Think of it as the wrestling equivalent of the Super Bowl in American football. It is the second highest grossing sporting event after the Super Bowl. It attracts thousands of people. It's a 2-night event. So it was happening on Easter Saturday and Easter Sunday. So Good Friday was the TV show before WrestleMania called SmackDown. Saturday was WrestleMania Night 1. Easter Sunday was WrestleMania Night 2. And then Easter Monday was what's called the Raw After Mania, the TV show WWE Raw, which is now on Netflix. And they call it Raw After Mania. WrestleMania Night 1 was fun. For both shows, we had great seats. We actually waited until a couple of days before the shows as tickets were a lot cheaper. I think it's just such a shame how expensive things are these days. The spectacle was just incredible. The main event of night 1 was amazing. Night 2 overall was the better show. The main event was Cody Rhodes, who at that time was the current WWE champion, who was facing John Cena, who a lot of you have probably heard of, and he was aiming for the record-breaking 17th championship. And it's just worth noting, just a few weeks prior to that, John Cena had turned into a bad guy. So for his whole career, he'd been a good guy. And basically, The Rock came out a few weeks prior to WrestleMania, and he basically orchestrated John Cena to turn into a bad guy. So obviously there was a lot of expectation in this match. There was a lot of expectation of The Rock to get involved because The Rock was actually trying to get Cody Rhodes to turn into a bad guy. Cody Rhodes said no. So he got John Cena to turn into a bad guy instead. So a lot of people thought The Rock was going to come. And then a music played during Cody Rhodes and John Cena match, and it was Travis Scott. Oh my God. The whole place deflated when he came out. It was like, Travis Scott, you've chosen this musician to come out of the main event of WrestleMania when everyone expected it to be The Rock. And The Rock didn't come out. John Cena, spoiler alert, John Cena did win his 17th World Championship, but The Rock was not there, and it just made no sense as to The Rock not being there. So we have now been to 3 wrestling shows, like 3 separate wrestling shows. I'm including all 4 shows during Vegas as one show. Actually, no, not been to 3 wrestling shows. I've been to 4 wrestling shows, 3 in America and 1 in London, with rumors, not expectations. I think WrestleMania was the only one where there was a high expectation of The Rock coming out. But the other shows, there was high rumors that The Rock was coming out, and he never did. And I'm just starting to wonder if he's just allergic to Abby and I, because he must hear that we're attending the shows and he's just like, nah, I'm not coming because I know that they're there. I know that DC and Abby are there. So Rock, if you're listening to this, get over your allergies and come to a show which we're going to. Although I must say this, I don't know if we're going to be going to a wrestling show anytime soon. It's gotten really, really expensive. And even though we ordered it a few days before, like got the tickets a few days before, it was still quite expensive. I can't believe the amount that people have spent. It's unbelievable. Anyway, we spent a bit of time in Vegas then. So we went to the outlet malls, got some deals. We went to Fremont Street, which is basically like old school Vegas. Really cool to see that, like nightlife-y, very extravagant. Obviously, I did go in a casino. I did not make any money. I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go for it. I took out some money. I'm not going to say the exact amount I took out, but I took out the least amount you can that is 3 figures. So I'm not going to say the exact amount, but I took out the least amount that I can. That is 3 figures. So yeah, I took out $100 and I betted it all because someone, actually, I'm going to give them a shout out. They might not have asked for it, but I'm going to give them a shout out. Shout out to Lewis Ross. Boom, 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 boom. He said, bet on 0. Put it on 0 every time, because him and his mate made good money doing it on 0. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure I've ever done that, but okay. Put it on 0. Loss. Put it on 0 again. Loss. Put it on 0 again. Loss. And I'm like, why did I do this? All the money went just like that. What a rookie mistake. What I should have done is, obviously it's 50-50, but I should have put it on a colour first. And then I could have built some money and then just do that. And obviously it's 50-50, so you still got a chance of losing it. But if you do that, then you're probably going to get your money back. You probably got a bit more time and stuff like that. And then think about numbers. It was a very rookie mistake. But then the only thing in my head is, what if it came up? I have a story and I don't think it's ever been shared, and it's something which is still quite upsetting to this day thinking about it right now. Me and Jay, shout out to Jay Sanchez, went to a casino. One of our mates, he said, put 20 quid on 28. We got to the casino, we got to the roulette table, and the roulette table, the last number that had just come up was 28. And I said to Jay, we can't do that. We can't put it on 28 because it's just come up. We can't do that again. Guess what the next number was? 28. Oh my God. How? Just how? I mean, obviously I know how, because there's a 1 in 36 or 1 in 37 chance every time. But it was just like, oh no. And I've never said that story live, and I'm sorry. He knows who he... Well, I don't know if he'll remember him saying it. I'm not going to say it because it just... Because we couldn't tell him. We couldn't tell him that it happened. But if he's listening to this and he remembers saying this, all I can say is I'm sorry, and we should be giving you 720 quid right now. I'm so sorry. Oh, God, yeah, because that was how much, yeah. Because if you put 20 quid on a number, if it's a 1 in 36 chance, it's a 1 in 37 chance, even more. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, so that was week 1, and I will talk about week 2 after I've explained the link between the next songs. So, Stevie Wonder, Superstition. Really, really good song. I can't, do you know what? I was almost going to just start singing it and start doing the like bass line and stuff like that. I don't think I can. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Podcast rules. Imagine if I get a strike, you know, copyright, just for like humming a song. That would be such a rubbish way. You might as well just play a song if you're going to do that. Anyway, Stevie Wonder, very famous Stevie. Another famous Stevie in the world of music is Stevie Nicks, and she fronted Fleetwood Mac. Absolute tune by Fleetwood Mac, The Chain. Rumours, really, really good album. Just to also add that this has stopped the I only like one song by them, because I do like more than one song of Fleetwood Mac's. Go Your Own Way, Dreams, The Chain, and I'm sure there's others, but those are my 3 favourites for sure. So check out The Chain. And obviously, well, I say obviously, some people may not know this. Second half of the song is featured on a well-known sports channel. I think it's still featured. I don't watch it anymore, actually. In fact, I will just say it because otherwise it's too cryptic. But basically, that theme was the Formula One theme. And yeah, like I used to be a fan of Formula One, and then that thing, I don't know if you remember that Drive to Survive show, was it, on Netflix? And I think Formula One almost turned into a Netflix show with that whole Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton thing. But look, I'm not gonna say any more about that because it might be offensive. So apologies. Okay, so Fleetwood Mac, The Chain. Check that one out. Really good song. So let's get back to our trip in America. So we just spoke about Vegas. So we carried on to our second half of the journey. So we drove from Vegas to a place called the Valley of Fire, where we did a really nice walk, saw Elephant Rock. Not going to lie, it didn't really look like an elephant, if I'm going to be honest. And then we went on our way to Bryce Canyon, famous for its hoodoos. we woke early for sunrise. Unfortunately, the sun did not get on the hoodoos because that's what you do for sunrise. You try and hope that the sun hits the hoodoos and it makes the colors look really, really nice. I mean, look, some of the sun did hit it, but just not enough to get that usual color. And then, yeah, we to try and mitigate us waking up early because it was quite an early start. We did a run, which was, it was the first time I did a run in a while. And that was tough. That was very tough. So yeah, so that was a really nice day in Bryce Canyon. We did a walk in Bryce Canyon as well on that same day after the run. And that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. That was really good fun. We really enjoyed that. That was probably one of our highlights. And then we went to Zion National Park, and that was good. Really, really good. So we did a bit of a walk there on the Friday. And then on the Saturday, we did a park run. We did a park run near Zion National Park. Now, for those that have that some people might know Park Run, some people might not know Park Run. Park Run was formed in the UK, first started at Bushy Park, which is, I believe, near Richmond, or in Richmond, sorry. And we've actually done it, so I should know that, sorry. That started in 2006, I believe, or 2005, can't remember. Sorry, got that wrong. And it's expanded. I mean, there's so much more runners these days. I think it's incredible. I think it's so easy to do. Annoyingly, I'm struggling with a bit of a knee injury at the moment, and I'm hoping to get that sorted. But, you know, running is so good. Something I thought I would never do again after being tripped over when I did it when I was a little boy. But when we went to Australia, we started running again, and it was incredible. And we've done a lot of park runs around the UK. We've done park runs in Poland. We've done a park run in Wales. We've done a park run in Ireland. And now we've done a park run in America. And it was so cool. There wasn't many people. There was only about 40. And we did really well. I got 8th and Abby got 10th. So good. That's like, just to clarify, we're normally, like, no disrespect to either of us, but we're normally not anywhere near those numbers. I mean, we're probably roughly about half. Like, I probably get in the top half and Abby's probably about half. Like, that's probably our range. But essentially, no, really, really good. And the thing that made that part run really hard was the altitude. It was 6,000 feet. That is high. That is very, very high. But that was really, really good. That was really, really, really good fun, and I really enjoyed that. And now we're on their front page on Facebook. So if you want to go on their Facebook, Coal Creek Park Run, check that out. And we're there on their front page. And I would definitely recommend doing the park run as well. I'd really recommend it. It was a really cool one. On that same day, we did what's called the Narrows hike. So basically, you've got this jumpsuit vest and a pole because you're basically walking along the lake, one of these lakes at Zion National Park. I don't know if it's a lake, but it's a body of water. Now, obviously, I was a little bit nervous because I don't know if you guys know, but I can't swim. So I was a little bit nervous. I will say this for those that can't swim and have heard of this and want to do something like this or are not confident swimmers, it's absolutely fine. There's a few moments where you're like, but overall, it was absolutely fine. So we did that. It was 4 hours, I think. We did over 4 hours. It was really fun, really strenuous, really hard work. It was definitely something I would recommend. And that was really great. And the views are incredible as well. That was Saturday. So then Sunday we were flying back, but it wasn't too early. It was quite late, actually, the flight. So we ended up just doing a bit more exploring at Zion National Park before we drove back to Vegas. Dropped the car off with 6 minutes to spare. So, you know, that's pretty good, making the most of our car. Very good car. Did a really good job. Really recommend it. After the negativity I initially had of 50 other car dealers are available. It's not the BBC, but I still like to say that. So I want to just say that I'm not advertising them. So yeah, so really, really fun. It was an amazing holiday. I mean, obviously a lot of you guys, wherever you're from, probably know about what's happening in America. There was actually one person that said, we're sorry for what's going on. And that was very sweet of them. And look, I'm not going to lie and say that there wasn't some aggro. I was a bit surprised about it because I've been to America a few times and I don't remember the aggro being as bad as that. Whether it's to do with what's going on, whether it's to do with where we were, I don't know whether it's to do with, no disrespect, but to like wrestling fans, there is definitely some, maybe there's a bit of truth to that. I don't know. I class myself as a wrestling fan as well. So obviously that is me generalizing, but I don't know. But overall, the experience was great. Had a really fun time. It was just definitely something that was more noticeable, the aggro. I think that was definitely more noticeable, but maybe that's just happening more in the world and that's just sad. And I think that's why the Full Circle's back. I want to do a show where there is no aggro. I want to do a show where we have fun and we just enjoy things and we just have a chat about things and you guys just enjoy it, and you don't have to enjoy it, but hopefully you enjoy it, and that's it really. So yeah, so I'd really recommend it. Obviously we were there for a couple of weeks, and there are things that we didn't do that some people might do, like Salt Lake City and other parks, and there were some things that you can only enter via a lottery. There were some walks, I think it's called Angel's Landing, that's at Zion's National Park, and I saw it and I was just like, look, I'm not someone that's the biggest fan of heights. I can do it, but when I read about it and saw that, I was like, oh, I'm not sure I can do that. So we didn't even like try and attempt to get the lottery for that, because I think I would have been sobbing if especially on one of the bits where apparently there's like very little space between you and falling, and it's like I don't think I can do that. So yeah, so I would definitely recommend doing Vegas and doing all those national parks that we've spoken about. It was really, really good fun. So how do we get from Fleetwood Mac, The Chain, to the last song? I'm not going to lie, I really, really struggled here. It's a bit contentious, but it works. It works. And I'm going to read the event. Lumos Live, a Coldplay and Fleetwood Mac candlelight experience. They have not paid me for this, just an FYI. This is not a paid promotion. This is not an advert. So if this advert gets them so what? It's not an advert. If what I'm about to read gets them some more people to go, please let me know. And I do want some dollar. Friday the 27th of June 2025 between 7 and 10:30 p.m. at the Leonardsley Lakes and Garden, Brighton Road, Horsham, England, RH13 6PP. Lumos Live, a Coldplay and Fleetwood Mac candlelight experience. Doors open at 7, performance starts at 8:30. Join us for an enchanting evening as a string trio brings the timeless sounds of Coldplay and Fleetwood Mac to life, all set against the stunning backdrop of Leonardsley House lawn here at Leonardsley Gardens. Sit back and enjoy the music as the sun sets and the warm glow of candlelight intensifies under the stars. Lumos brings enchanting concert experiences, paying homage to world-famous artists. They have partnered with spectacular locations and churches across the UK to deliver a concert experience that is nothing short of magical. And that is why the song I'm playing, or the song I've chosen as the fifth and final song, is Magic by Coldplay. And there is a link. And that is the link because you get to see a Coldplay and Fleetwood Mac candlelight experience at Horsham if you choose to on Friday the 27th of June 2025. 10% off for members using the code LUMOS10 apparently. That's the end of that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but it might be an absolutely magical evening. If they don't play Magic by Coldplay, they have missed a trick there. They have absolutely missed a trick. So I wanted to bring back a feature. So I had a little think about things, and I was thinking about what features used to come on the Full Circle back in the day. And I remember there used to be one about junk emails, wasn't there? So back in the day, I used to get some weird junk emails. It'd always be about enhancing supplements or something similar like that. Now all the emails is about a package not being delivered. That's not meant to be a euphemism, but I do want to just bring up that a friend did actually get caught with it. Because I was thinking of how is anyone going to get caught with that? How is anyone gonna like, surely about your package and things like that, and surely you'd see the email address, but I guess that's how they get you. And yeah, he found out that it was that he got done, not done, like got caught out there. So it's one of those unfortunate situations. There was a junk email I got, and this is it. It just said, this was the title. This was the title that was on the junk email. Sex dating. That was the title. And the subject is, I am 31 years old, looking for a lover. click for date. That's it. I remember the days when these junk emails used to, have a backstory where they would like sell it to you about how they've come from this country and they've struggled where they are and now they need like a passionate man or, woman to support them and help them and get them what they need and give them what they need and provide them. And that's why they need £25,000. Is it because it's too realistic? Or is it because people just fall for it now, just like that? I just can't see how. How are people going to fall for that? I don't understand whatsoever. Anyway, if I do get some better junk emails, the junk emails that are worth reading on the radio show, on the podcast, sorry, just Freudian slip there. So easy just to say radio show because that's what this show used to be. But I need to get used to saying podcast. Then, I will read them out. So what I'm going to do this time is a Buzzfeed quiz. And the quiz is, can we guess your birth month based on the pastries you've chosen? Okay, I'm curious. I'm curious to know if they can guess my birth month based on the pastries I've chosen. Because if they can, wow. I genuinely might have to message BuzzFeed and be like, how did you do that? Because that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Legit. Because, look, there's chance. They've got a 1 in 12 chance of getting my birth month right, just without even choosing the pastries. But if they get it right with the pastries I've chosen, I will be shocked. Okay? So I'm going to tell you my birth month before I do it so that there's no, belief that I'm fudging it or anything like that. My birth month is November. So are they going to get November? So the first thing they want me to do is pick a dessert. They want me to pick a pastry. So the ones we have here is a baklava, a croissant, a macarons, and turnovers. So which one am I going to choose? Oh, okay. So so obviously this is audio, so apologies. You can find it yourself. Just Google BuzzFeed pastries birth month and then join in for the fun and see if they can get you right as well. So yeah, baklava, croissant, macarons, is it? Or turnovers. Let's go for croissant. Okay, let's go for croissant. Do you like a good croissant? Let's go for that. Okay, so that's that locked in. So number 2, what looks good? And the options are chauquettes. Not entirely sure what they are. They look like they've got leaves and oranges on top of like a bun sort of thing. Danish pastry, know what they are. A linzer torte and a steak and kidney pie. Certainly no to the steak and kidney pie. If you've been listening to my shows for the last 2 weeks and have been listening to them in the past, you certainly know that would not be staying safe. So certainly no to the steak and kidney pie. Linzer torte, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Chauquettes, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Not entirely sure what that is either, so I'm going to go for Danish pastry. So let's click that, let's lock that in. Okay, so that's now locked in. So number 3, make another selection. Okay, Borek, that looks like, I don't know, that almost looks like a baklava, but without, not as sweet. Cronuts, which basically looks like donuts to me. Jalebi, which is an Indian sweet, almost looks like a pretzel, but they're orange and they're very sweet, very sugary, very calorific. And Sasha Torte, which basically looks like a chocolate cake with a bit of cream. I've got to go for the jalebi. The heritage. Okay, so jalebi is now locked in. Okay, number 4. You know what to do. I think they're saying that I need to choose the next one. Apple strudel, churros. Oh, churros are nice. Hot cross buns and samosas. Oh. So samosas, another Indian delicacy, but they have peas in them. Oh, am I going to be smited here though? Am I going to be smited by not going for the samosas? I think I'm going to be smited. I think I'm going to have to go for the churros. I prefer churros over samosas. Oh, I'm sorry for smiting you. Churros, locked in. Choose one more pastry. Okay, so this is the last one where it's now going to determine my birth month. Has it got it right? Cannoli, eclair, canapé, or taiyaki, which I didn't know, and I did do a little Google to see what that was because it basically looks like a fish. It's a Japanese fish delicacy, but it's not actually a real fish, it's a biscuit, I believe. Apologies if I got that wrong. Oh, it's got to be an eclair. Surely. Let's go for that. Okay. Oh my God. So I didn't know this. So actually, they give you 3 months. So that's how they get you. So basically they've got a 1 in 4 chance, haven't they? 3 in 12, 1 in 4. These are the months they've gone for. Based on your favorite pastries, we have a feeling you're a July August or September baby. Is that correct? No. No, as I said, I was November. Well, that was pretty rubbish, wasn't it? That didn't work out. There was me thinking, yeah, they're going to get that. They're going to get that. July, August or September? How? But yeah, if anyone has done it and they got it right, send me a screenshot and I will read it out. I will send, I'll give a shout out, because at the end of the day, they deserve it, because it must be very hard for them to predict the months. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what their algorithm is to work out the months. I don't know how they've realized that, or how they think that I'm July, August, or September, but it is what it is. Right, how do we link then the final song, Coldplay Magic, to the first song that started, Lady Gaga, Abracadabra? Do I need to say this one? Do you guys think you can work it out with the song titles? What's the magic word? No, it's not please. It's abracadabra. Hence completing the full circle. Guys, I just want to say thank you so much again to everyone that's been listening, that has listened, that is continuing to listen, that supports the show, that follows the show, that comments. Thank you so much to anyone that engages. I really, really cannot thank you enough. It is absolutely mind-blowing how many people are so positive, so happy about it being back and just enjoying it in its podcast form. I really, really appreciate it. I really, really do. So thank you so much. Feel free to comment. It's on all podcast platforms. So whatever podcast platform you use, comment, follow, subscribe. Please do. I really hope that you enjoy this show, and I really hope as the weeks go on, we grow together and we make better content, and have and just enjoy what's ahead, and just enjoy the show and enjoy it all. So thank you so much, everyone that contributes and listens, and I really, really, really appreciate it. It's because of you guys that I do it. So thank you so much. And it's an absolute honor to have brought the full circle back. Obviously, there is only one way to end this, and you know what I'm going to say. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Stay safe. Don't eat beef.